Hola Bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic. I'm Magic Mel, and this is Owl, my spirit guide. Welcome to episode 5 of season 5. So I'm happy to have you here, and I felt inspired to do a video. I nowadays really just go into my feeling. I don't force myself to produce, at a certain rhythm. If the energy is there, if the inspiration is there, I follow that in full trust that something beautiful will come out. So, the topic I wanted to talk about today, and one I've been reflecting on for quite some time now, at least a week, is the concept of yin and yang. So, I'm going to use one of my little artworks as illustration. You see here the yin and yang symbol. And it's funny, can you see the white paint protruding a little bit? I literally picked up this little painting a few minutes ago and I noticed, oh no, I forgot the white dot in the black half. Yeah, so basically the paint is still fresh. But voila, my illustration of yin and yang. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this symbol. And let's go into the symbology first, shall we, since we have it here. You see what looks like a bit like a little fish, I guess, or like a little embryo almost with a little eye in white and in black. And in both sides, you see the opposite represented in it. And the general meaning, I guess, is that there is no good without bad, or there's always a silver lining, even in any circumstance. And the good has the inherent seed of potential bad, and the bad has the potential of carrying good. And even the terminology good and bad, I'm kind of reluctant to use that, but for the sake of description, let's stick by that. I guess another way of putting it would be alignment and disalignment, or suffering versus joy. So both sides, Abraham Hicks would call it, we pick up a stick, any topic, a stick, let's say anything. Oops, my stomach. Joy would be on one end, suffering would be on the other one, but it's all relative. It's on a scale, no? And we cannot really comprehend or behold the concept of joy if we cannot relate to the concept of suffering. So in that sense, our suffering is, by contrast, the contrapunto to our appreciation of joy, and vice versa. So, yeah. In another level, the yin and yang also symbolizes duality. So we live in a universe of contrast, no? Going back to what I just said, everything is on a scale, a sliding scale of positive, negative, basically going from one end to a spectrum to the other. So there's a polarity involved in each aspect. And we need this kind of contrapunto to align ourselves. So for example, talking from my own experience, had I not gone through depression, anxiety, immense suffering, I would not be able to appreciate and behold the state of joy I'm nurturing at the moment. And to even, I think it was Carl Gustav Jung, the Swiss psychotherapist and analyst, dream analyst, who said something like along the lines of, a tree can only reach up to heaven in as much as its roots go down to hell. So again, we can only perceive heaven if we know what hell feels like, if we've been disconnected. And that's something that happened to me. I'm only able to appreciate that because I've been through a lot of suffering. And I'm not the only one, no? But I'm speaking from my own experience. So meaning, can we only label the happy times as good in terms of value? Looking from where I am now, I have immense gratitude for the suffering I went through, because it gave me and it taught me depth. Without the suffering, I would be skimming on the superficie, on the surface of life, not really being in touch with the suffering and the depth, and then being able to be compassionate. So, of course, I don't want to go back to that kind of suffering, but I value it now. I appreciate it. I see the value in having gone through that. So, I guess as human beings, we're creators of meaning. Now, our tendency is to write stories, we're storytellers, and to try and create meaning. So, if we can find the meaning in our darkness, in our wounds, in our suffering, in our shadows, if we can really build acceptance around that and see the beauty in that, I mean, liberation is insight, touchable, no? But going back to this, if we look around in nature, everything is split into masculine and feminine. And it's actually going beyond that duality that creation takes place. Not a technical glitch. I think it has something to do with my storage, guys. Sorry, I'm not the most high-tech person. I'm catching up with the digital age. In any case, I was saying that if we look in creation, we have masculine and feminine. Look at our own species. How do we procreate? We need that fusion, that transcending of masculine and feminine to create something new life. No? And we see that play out everywhere in creation. Another point I wanted to talk about is, yes, we might be born into a specific gender, although that's a whole other debate. Let's say we're born with a specific sex, but that does not mean that in our psyche we do not carry both yin and yang, masculine and feminine, in ourselves. Two aspects that we can tap into, two energies we can tap into. So I guess, on another level, the yin and yang, I was reflecting on that. It's really trying to understand the essence of these energies. So let's say yin is associated with the feminine, a more receptive energy, not out to immediately act, but to be in a state of receiving, intuition, connectedness, silence, all of those aspects usually associated with yin energy. Then we have yang, which is the willpower, forward movement, action, going for our goals, assertiveness, the mind, discipline. Those are very broad generalizations, yeah. And I guess my point was that regardless of our sex and our gender, we can tap into both energies because we carry both psychic energies. So it's a matter of knowing when to be in yin and when to be in yang. Take myself as an example. I mean, gender and sex is female, but that does not mean that I've been necessarily operating or connected or in touch with my yin essence in a healthy way. So far, I must say that I've been mainly in my yang, meaning in the mind, out for just constant production, constant action, overrunning my intuition, overrunning my body's needs. And it's not really that yin or yang are better than the other. It's not about that, but it's more about feeling into and being present enough to connect and bring out the necessary energy to respond in the moment. So we talk about becoming whole and coming home to ourselves. Ideally, wholeness invokes a sense of balance. So we're encouraged to find the balance between both energies within us. And it is no minor task. It requires a lot of presence and connectedness with yourself, with your emotions, with your psychosomatic operations system, understanding yourself essentially. And not only is it to a benefit, a personal benefit when we achieve a sense of balance. And I'm not saying it's a fixed thing, because nothing is fixed in this world. It's always, energy is always moving. But to achieve a kind of flow balance internally for ourselves, but also for the outside world. I am so militant in the sense that I have pretty much, I don't watch the news, I don't listen to the mainstream stories, because even if I don't watch the news for a while, I turn it on and the same 5 stories, and the wars and the misery and the catastrophes and the scandals. I know what's going on in that sense. It's kind of regurgitation, no? What I'm more interested in is harmonizing my internal state, my beingness, because by doing so, it will reflect in my immediate surroundings and beyond. Because as within, it's esoteric saying, no, as within, so without. The universe is a reflection of us. So we create our reality. If I'm not happy, if I'm not content with the kind of reality that I'm seeing out there, for example, when I turn on the news, then where do I go from there? What am I doing to change it? Well, I go inside. I resolve my own inner conflicts. I harmonize my own energies. I respect my own inner resources, my needs for rest, my body's needs. And in doing so, I immediately connect with my own nature. And if I connect with my own nature, I can connect with nature out there. Meaning, for example, if I strive for a balance between yin and yang, meaning concretely, if I need to rest, I do. I give myself permission to rest. If I want to play and not be working, I allow myself time to play. How does that impact the environment or the world at large? Well, if I'm able to take care of myself, my own emotional, psychological needs, then I'm filling my own void. I'm the generator of my own energy. And meaning I don't need to outsource that need for energy from the outside, be it from other people, be it from consuming substances, whatever it is, be it distraction, be it entertainment. And you connect the dots now. If I need less of that, means I consume less, meaning I don't go overboard in consuming the precious resources out there in the world, because I'm taking care of my own needs. If everyone would be doing this, we wouldn't be over-consuming, because we wouldn't be trying to fill a void that actually nothing out there can fill, that only our own connectedness with our own source is able to fill. See where I'm getting at? That's why the internal work is so important. That's why harmonizing yin and yang, being present to respond either yin or yang, is so essential. And that's a whole other topic. What does it take to be present? It means we're not replaying the past. We're free from our karmic cycles, from our trauma cycles. So we need to heal to be present. Yeah. I'm going a bit on a tangent here, but let's go back to this image. You see in the middle, I painted a key. And for me, basically that is the key. The internal harmonizing of our inner state, of our energies, is the key to liberation. It frees us up from reacting, from overconsumption, from distraction, from emptiness. If we connect to our own source and are able to tap into our divine feminine and divine masculine energies, we are whole, we operate as whole beings, and we can enter into a relationship after having come into relationship with our true selves, with the world, and create interdependency. It's another huge topic. We're not meant to be alone, we're relational beings. But if we come from a state of lack and wounding, we tend to repeat cycles of codependency, of codependency. And codependency reenacts a cycle of bondage. We're not free. We're not able to use our free will really, because we're acting and reacting from a programming that hasn't been that's been going on in the past and maybe served us at some point in the past, but that we're still, that's basically limiting us in the present moment, that is not freeing us up to the freshness of the present moment and to the limitless, infinite possibilities of the present moment. We're basically on an old timeline if we don't heal and process our own wounding. And we're not able to be present enough to see what the present situation calls for. A yin, a more receptive and yielding energy, or a yang, assertiveness. Yeah, see where I'm coming from? So everything is connected. The key to our liberation is really our own homecoming to our wholeness, our own acceptance and allowing for and nurturing of both. I'm not saying yin and yang are only aspects. We're multidimensional, no? But I'm saying let's talk about these two energies. It frees us up to really to enter relationships from a sense of wholeness, and we free up other people also, because if we're not coming from a sense of wholeness, we will extract those needs that are still there and need to be filled from other people, and that's basically manipulation. I've done it, I've been there, you know. So let's be aware that we carry the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies within us, and there is a time for everything. There's a time to yield, to rest, to come into silence, to connect with our intuition, with our inner, to really just feel out our inner state, to be vulnerable, to really be in touch with our emotions. There's a time for that. And there's a time to be active participants in the creation and manifestation of our desires. The masculine, the divine masculine, also protects our divine feminine, meaning the divine feminine is also the channel of curiosity, of our inner child, our innocence, our creativity. For example, now I am embodying the divine masculine by creating structure around my creativity, by protecting my boundaries, by protecting my time, my creative time, but not by not allowing myself to get, well, I'm trying to get distracted. You know, that is the divine masculine, creating safety so that my divine feminine creativity can thrive, can flourish. Yeah. And other way around, you know, male male sex gender, you also have the divine feminine within you. You have your intuition, your sensitivity, your feelings, your beautiful innocence. You carry that inside of you. Okay, so let's not get too polarized in these energies. Let's always remember it's a play, it's a dance, just like here in the yin yang symbol. You know, it goes round and round and round. It's forever a dynamic dance. Yeah. Okay. And I'm really in the middle of this. I'm in the process of being, you know, working on being so present that I assess the situation. I get in touch with myself and check in with myself. What do I need first and foremost? Do I need rest? Do I need play? Do I need fresh air? What do I need? I take care of my own needs. And then, is it a time to step back and maybe just daydream a bit, or go out into nature and let the inspiration flow, you know, be receptive? Or is it a time to take action again? Is it a time to strategize, you know? And there's no fixed strategy, no fixed calendar for that. There's no schema or template you can impose. We all operate according to our own clocks and rhythms. The important thing is for us to get in touch with that and to trust it, regardless of what's going on outside. Yeah, and that kind of goes against the grain, because we're taught to all follow a template, to all work from 9 to 5. You know, it's kind of forcing pegs into holes, or whatever that expression was. You know what I mean? Square into holes. No, we're like, every one of us is a universe in itself. And to really understand how one operates is a huge task. I'm still in the middle of it. You know, I try to really talk to my body, talk to my heart, as saying, I'm here, I'm listening, what do you need? You know, I'm building a relationship with myself. And it's obviously ongoing. It's not like, okay, now I've got it and it's fixed and I'm done with it. No, ongoing process, daily rituals, daily practice. And it's only by doing that that I can flow better and surrender to the stream of life and become more flexible in the mind. Yeah, not holding on to these very fixed, concrete, strict patterns or beliefs. Being more like a bamboo, strong at its core but flexible outside. So I encourage you to ponder upon yin and yang, masculine, feminine aspects within you, the good and the bad. It's another thing I was talking about a little bit. Let's not be so quick to judge painful situations as bad. They have often huge lessons and huge jewels. We come out with jewels of wisdom that nobody can take away from us because that wisdom is based in our own experiences. So let's be accepting of the good times and the bad times. Let's not cling to things. Let's rest also in the belief and in the trust that all is well. The best is yet to come, and that we are protected, we are loved, we are guided by the universe. If we only can relax into that and learn how to play, like Layla, play with the energies. Yeah? Let's not be so serious. I'm telling you, I was the number one person to make life hard and take things so goddamn serious. I'm learning to play more, to flow more, and to be less straining and forcing, to be more effortless. And things become so much lighter, more lighthearted and enjoyable. Yeah, it's an ongoing process. Be patient with yourself in the process. Be compassionate, but persevere, Don't give up. It takes repetition, it takes practice, it takes surrendering to the present moment over and over and over again. And so be it. There's no time limit on this. There's no deadline. There's no okay, I made it to this point and that's it. No, the process is an never-ending unfolding. So we might as well enjoy it. No, we might as well be in joy. Okay, let's move on. And let's see, what cards should we pull? Okay, let's pull one card from the Psychic Tarot. Let me get a bit organized. Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. So I already cleared the space. I invoked my angels, spirit guides, and ancestors. And I want to ask directly, what card do you have for us? Anything that you deem is worthy of discussing or revealing into our attention. That was not correct English, doesn't matter. Bringing to our attention, voila. Or any message you have for us. Thank you so much. Do you like my red bandana? It's actually, oops, that was fast. It's for my brother. I love bandanas and it's kind of striking red. Wow, didn't we just talk about patience? Look at this. Patience, 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 patience. If you are lucky enough to be close to nature, if you have a garden, but even if you don't, is it illegal to plant something in a public park? Well, maybe you can get a little plant pot with some earth and stick that in your apartment, yeah? In any case, try and have access to earth and garden and try planting something. If you've done so in the past, then you know that we can't force and push the seed to grow, A lot of the initial growth is taking place out of our sight, under the earth, and we're kind of watering the seed, and we have to be patient for it to sprout into a seedling. If we're, we can't after the second day dig up the seed and say, "Oi, what are you doing down there? Are you growing or not?" You can try, but kind of defeats the purpose. So do we have the patience with the seeds of our new habits we're planting, or the seeds of our creative thoughts, or the seeds of our good intentions? Are we patient with those seeds? Are we nurturing those seeds with love, repetition, perseverance, faith, trust? Or do we give up very soon? That's what patience is about now. I mean, patience is linked with faith also, because You gotta have patience and faith that whatever you're planting is growing and will grow, and not only grow but blossom. So voila, from the one seed, look at is it a lily growing? Wow, it's quite interesting visual. The lily growing in her palm. This reminds me a little bit of, the never-ending story in the end. If you haven't seen it, maybe I'm kind of spoiling it. But okay, there was one scene in the never-ending story where the moon princess, I can't remember what her name was, but I love the story anyway. The moon princess, she was there with Bastian, and she was holding something in her hand, and there was light coming out of it, and he came closer, and she showed it to him. It was a seed of light, and she reminded Bastian. He said, it just takes this one seed to recreate all of Fantasia, because our gift is our imagination. So one seed of our imagination can create a universe. That's how powerful we are. That's how powerful the tool of our imagination is. So let's not menospreciar, let's not underestimate the value of even just one good intention, one good habit we're planting. Because once the momentum is going, there's no stopping, We gotta have faith though, and patience, and persevere, and trust that our intention will blossom, our good habit will take root, anchor in ourselves, and will become automated, that our projects will thrive. Yeah. Have patience, be a gentle gardener. Nourish your seed, nourish your habit with repetition, with good thoughts, with good energy and patience. Okay? So it's kind of self-explanatory card. Let's get one general card from the Sacred Power reading cards, big deck. From the Sacred Power reading cards, who of you would like to come out and connect with everyone who's watching here, and me included? What advice do you have for us? Thank you so much. These cards are quite big, and they're usually a 2-page description, so let's see. I can't believe we're always in the end of October, guys. Like, what? It's been one hell of a year, huh? 2022, but good stuff. I hope for you as well. Lots of transformation, incredible growth. Yeah, and opportunity at every turn to live the new paradigm of abundance, joy, and collaboration. Time to let go of the old stuff, guys. I mean, things are changing whether we're on board or not, so might as well ride the wave. Alors, I take the top card. I'm so happy we've got mosquito screens now. No more muzzies. Ooh, I love it. Purple. Oh my god. And can you see my painting? Right here. The eye and that painting. Whoops, all mirror reversed. So I love the color synchronicity going on here. Intuition. It's a big word, no? I used to think like, what do you mean by intuition? How does it talk to me, and how can I connect with it? I was so stuck in the mind in the past. I was, the voice of my mind was completely overriding the whispers of my intuition. And if you're someone like me, who's really more operating from a mental space and disconnected from your core, then you'll appreciate how hard it was or is to, for me personally, not anymore, but it was hard to really get in touch with intuition. What it requires is stillness, is slowing down, is connecting with our body, trusting our body, trusting that there is an inner guidance system that really does know what the best is or what the next step is. So it's a matter of slowing down, quieting the thoughts, and feeling into that voice, which talks to us in sensations or in, sometimes for me in dreams, there's like sentences floating around, or sometimes just a sense of knowing. Yeah, my body also talks, contraction, expansion. I guess not so much intuition, but body sensation. intuition will speak to every one of us in a different way. So again, it's up to us to discern that, discern that inner voice and trust it and listen to it. Yeah. It doesn't shout. It's not like the mind bossing us around. It's like more of a gentle, kind voice. And that doesn't go on and on justifying things. Again, that would be the mind. It's more of a very to the point voice. Yeah. So nurture your intuition. Look, our intuition is connected to our higher self and the angelic realm and spirit, the universe itself, the universal mind. So by connecting to our own intuition, we're connecting to that higher, the higher dimensions, and we can receive guidance, insights, direction. So it's very, very important that we connect with that. And even though it goes against our ratio, our rational mind, no? Like intuition will come in and say something, and soon the mind will come in and try and convince us otherwise. No, it takes trust. Again, it takes trust that what you're feeling and what you know in your bones is real. You're not making it up. Essentially means trusting yourself. Yeah. So let's nurture our intuition. Let's find ways to get in touch with our intuition, to slow down, to connect with that, and trust in that guidance, yeah, that knows and can see beyond our little mind, and that goes also beyond our five senses, our sensory perceptions. It's again connecting to the cosmos, the higher realms, yeah, which are just as real as this real 3D reality, perceivable real 3D reality. Bon, concluding card from Enchanted Map Oracle. Please, any guidance for us? Thank you so much. Any guidance to conclude this? Reflection on yin and yang, polarization, going beyond the paradox, the duality, following our intuition, having patience in the seeds we're planting. Which also makes me think, being aware enough, we should be aware enough to water the right seeds, no? Because we all have the seeds of all possibilities, good and evil within us. So which ones are we watering? Which seeds? Vale. So the card is Follow the Leader, but in the reverse, from the Enchanted Map Oracle. Let's look at it upright. Number 40, follow the leader. There's a path leading up to a tree, like a chestnut tree or something, on top of a hill. And I think there's a little fairy here. Is that a fairy? And a little duck or bird, or baby ducks and the mother duck. I don't know who's leading who here. And the path leads up to the willow, which has, let me check, a clock on there. What time is it on the clock? It's not very clear. But yes, there's a fairy and a mummy duck and ducklings and actually a little grasshopper, super tiny, here, hopping along, maybe looking for their leader. It's in the reverse. Vamos allá. Follow the leader. I say follow our own leader inside our own authority. Vale. Let's go. Reverse, huh? Let's put it upright, but be aware that the message came in the reverse. So follow the leader. Every life is a teaching tool for others. Your authenticity and honesty are an example to those around you. Yeah, we all teach each other. Nothing is random in this universe. Every encounter is meaningful, and everyone we encounter is a teacher. Reversed. The Follow the Leader card offers a gentle push to get up and take the lead. In a relationship or partnership, be the one to voice what must be said. Muster your courage and speak your needs aloud. Affirm what you like and what you feel, and don't just hope for someone else to fix the problems you see. If your inquiry is about a career or project, you must take the initiative to draw up a proper plan. See, that's Divine Masculine, strategic. And if it's about a personal relationship, you must be clear about your intentions and desires. Boldly begin a discussion about how things really are and how to make the situation work for the highest good of all. Do this as soon as possible. you may be pleasantly surprised by the results. Oh guys, why is my nose so itchy? Always in the afternoon. So let's summarize. The card is encouraging us to stop procrastinating and stop being passive and be in our yang energy, i.e., let's be assertive, let's voice our needs in relationships. We can't expect other people to mind read. That's I mean, I used to do that. I'm trying to get out of it. Maturity requires us to speak our needs, to also trust that the other person will be able to respond, and that we should not recoil from speaking our truth and our needs out of the fear of rejection or out of fear that we will not be heard. At the end of the day, what we can do is be as authentic and sincere as we can for our own sake, and then surrender to the other person. We cannot control their reaction, but we can do our best in the relationship, no? Or in the situation. So detach from the outcome, and whatever the outcome is, or the response or reaction is, stand in your truth. Don't waver. Say what needs to be said. And I know it's not easy. I think we naturally shy away from conflict or difficult, unpleasant situations or conversations. But if we want clarity, then we must avoid assuming things and being stuck in our head, and literally communicate, build a bridge towards others. And let's stop waiting for someone else to come rescue us or fix our life or be the change or create the change. Why not be active in our own reality and be the hero of our own journey and do it ourselves? And I'm not saying on our own, but I'm saying standing up for ourselves, not wait for someone else to give us permission to do something. Like, why do we need permission? No one's waiting for anyone here. Like, just do it. Nike, Go out there. What do we have to lose? Honestly. At this point, I'm also conscious about earthly time. I mean, I believe we're eternal beings, but in this bodysuit, it's kind of limited to a certain degree. So how am I using my time? Am I really actively pursuing my dreams? Am I my own leader? Can I trust myself to lead my own life, to take the next step and not wait around for someone else to do it? Can I be my own leader? Or do I need someone else to lead? And if so, why? Is it because I don't trust in myself? And if so, why? I'm always about uncovering the layers of why. Why do we feel we're not good enough or we're not a leader? Why don't we trust ourselves? Yeah. Nobody else feels what we feel. Nobody else knows in our bones what we know. Let's trust the self. I mean, for me, really, a lot of the salvation of what's going on out there is going back home to ourselves, because we're all fractals of the universe and we're all connected. So if we are whole in our wholesome selfhood, then that can only bring good. Because then we don't outsource. Again, now going back to outsourcing, we are able to give back. We're able to connect genuinely. We're able to create interdependence and collaborate with other people. We are able to share our gifts, our talents. But for that, we need to be in touch with ourselves, come home to ourselves, and trust our own inner authority. I mean, check human design. There's so many tools out there to really help us navigate this complex system of the self. But if you have your date of birth, there's so much you can do with that. Natal chart. A friend of mine yesterday, astrocartography. I mean, it's wild what we can find out about ourselves. Now, you got to be open to it, But if you're curious about it, there's a lot of information you can plow through and see what resonates to understand how you operate. Like in human design, I realized I'm a generator, so I need to trust my gut instead of my other centers. Yeah, so that's useful information. Tools, they're all tools that help me navigate, come back to myself, and create clarity. First with myself and then with other people. Because how can you expect other people to, even in the minute sense, understand us if we do not present them with a clear enough picture of our authentic self, you know. I mean, I've got a lot to say to that, but I'm all pro stepping back into our power, reclaiming our power, and stop procrastination and stop waiting for someone else to rescue us, for something out there, some outer authority to do the job for us. No, we are, the great privilege of this lifetime is to really, was it Carl Jung again who said that, is to really be who we are, like to find out who we really are in the big sense, yeah, in the multidimensional sense, and to reclaim our sovereignty, to come out of bondage of karmic cycles, of to reclaim all these psychic aspects that we might, or soul loss that we have incurred along different lifetimes, to really regroup and reclaim all of our power and come back home to sovereignty. It's quite something. It's very powerful, and it's an adventure, no? To really discover our own potential. It's something, it's a privilege. It's a privilege. So let's remember, we are the heroes of our own stories. We are the authors of our own life. There's nobody else doing it for us. But let's rejoice in that. It's not like, oh my God. You know, I used to shrink away from that kind of freedom. Erich Fromm, fear of freedom. I was literally scared to be free because I was scared to take on the responsibility of my own choices. But at the end of the day, it's either we lead our own life or we're just floating around. And it's sayang in Filipino Tagalog, it's sayang, c'est dommage. It's una lástima, no? Schade if we don't take the own reins and manifest the life that we really, truly desire and believe in. John Lennon, imagine, how can we imagine a different world and different future if we're not even at home in ourselves, if we don't even reclaim and realize and appreciate our own powers? No? So, follow the leader, i.e., follow yourself. Trust yourself. Don't go like looking for leaders out there. I mean, there's great people and everything, but in the end, you got to make your own decisions and trust yourself that you can make the right decisions for yourself. And also, if we act in our highest good, we act in the highest good of everyone, because the divine, you know, our true heart's desires, they benefit the world around us also. They light us up and they light everything else around us up. I think there's like a hair, it's tickling me, sorry guys. So again, you know, your joy brings joy to others. It's not for naught. It's not hedonism. It's when we're lit up with our passion, with our joy, I mean, we're like shining stars, attracting things, channeling the divine. I mean, we become magnets for miracles. My mantra is always, I'm Magic Mel, I'm a magnet for miracles, but so are you. I hope you realize and tap into your own magic and believe in magic again. Trust, patience, faith, to really, really feel into these concepts and to practice them. That's what I feel we're invited to do, and to seize this privilege of being and becoming ourselves. Yeah? Okay, enough of me. Otherwise I'm going to go on and on. With that, I conclude, and I invite you to ponder, reflect on what we talked about here, no? Yin and Yang, divine masculine, divine feminine, what each energy represents, how we embody these energies and how we bring them out in each situation. And if we haven't, why? You know, it's a lot to unpeel here. And think about your life, the struggles you've had. Can you see the beauty in it? Can you see the beauty in your own darkness? Can you see that life is made out of both? That we cannot have one without the other? That if we just try and skim at the surface of things, we cannot appreciate the full spectrum of life. All of the emotions. I mean, that's what the richness is of a full life experience, is feeling all of the emotions of the entire spectrum. Going down from, you know, suffering, despair, to bliss and joy and gratitude and freedom. And let's remember that, yes, we carry both aspects within us, regardless of our gender and sex. We have masculine and feminine, yin and yang. and that it's a play, it's a dance. And our challenge or opportunity lies in finding the perfect dance, the harmony in these energies, and to flow with those energies, to not get rigid and stuck in them, one or the other. Yeah? So remember, you have the key to your own liberation, and it all starts from within. I know it's cliché, but it's true. Ok? Alors, je vous laisse avec ça. Owl and I have your back. Super happy to see you here. If you enjoy my videos, there's a like button here. It really, really does help my channel grow. You can subscribe to my channel. You can check out Magic Mel's videos, season 1, 2, 3, 4. What are we at? 5 now. I've got like 92 videos out there. And share with friends if you feel something might resonate with them. Okay, and I have a donate button, so if you feel you want to give a donation to this and help me flow, help the energy of give and receive flow here, then please, I'd be super happy and appreciative of any support. Okay, remember, our primary currency is our energy. Money is just a symbol, but we operate in a 3D with that, so we might as well give it a good energy. Yeah, give money an energy of joy, abundance, lightness, and passion. Infinite love, infinite gratitude. See you for the next video. Bye.